Multiplying polynomials, here's where it gets fun. So nothing crazy new, but we're going to basically just distribute and FOIL and then combine like terms. And don't forget to write your answer in standard form. So the FOILing part is a thing that we've been doing for the whole time, but now it's going to get just a little bit more interesting. All right, so here we go. So if we're looking at number 6, I like to draw my lines. So this W is going to be multiplied by the W squared, the 2W, and then the 1. So here we go. We've got W times W squared is W cubed. W times 2W is 2W squared. W times 1 is W. So we're just going to move that down a little bit. And then we've got this negative 7. Don't forget that it is negative. It's going to hit all 3 of these terms as well. So now we're going to have negative 7W squared, negative 14W, and then negative 7 times 1 is negative 7. So then from here, you're just going to combine like terms. So we've got a W cubed and only W cubed. There's nothing else. But we've got a W squared that we need to combine. We've got a W, and then a negative 14W, and then we have just a regular number. So again, you got to combine all your like terms. So what all do we have left over? We've got a W cubed, and then we've got our W squares, so that's negative 7 plus 2. So we're going to have a, well, where's my back button? We're going to have a negative 5W squared, then a negative 13W, and then a negative 7. And there's our answer. So again, it's the same thing we've been doing, either FOILing, distributing, whatever, but now we're just going to have a few more terms. Okay, number 7's got one additional step. It's a great problem. We get to see the FOIL in action, and then we get to distribute this negative 2x as well. So let's get at it. So let's start with our first part. We're just going to focus on this first half of the problem. We're going to FOIL that. So we've got 8x, I'm just kidding, 8x minus 18x squared, 2x times 9x. So now we're going to have our 1. So that's going to be a plus 4 minus 9x. So this is all over here. We can combine like terms right now if you wanted to. That's not wrong. I'm going to go on and do this next part. We're going to do this next part right now, and then we'll combine terms afterwards. It'll save me a step, but like I said, it's not wrong if you do it either way. So this 2x, this negative 2x is going to get distributed into both of those numbers. So we're going to have negative 6x squared plus, not plus, just kidding, minus 22x. So then from here, we can combine like terms. This parenthesis is not needed. I just put it there just to kind of show that where each section of the equation was. But we can start combining like terms now. So we've got an, whoops, that's not what I wanted to do. I wanted to highlight it. We've got an x squared there and an x squared there. So when we combine those, that's going to be 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So negative 24x squared. We've got an 8x and a negative 9x. Oh, and a negative 22x. Just to make sure I don't mess this up. Minus 9 plus 8 minus 23x. And then all of our normal numbers, we just have a 4 left over. And there's our answer. So remember, just FOIL, distribute, and then combine like terms. And get in the habit of writing these things in standard form. So that means that your highest degree monomial is going to go first, aka x, the x squared is going to go first, the x is going to go second, and then the number by itself is just going to go in the end. Get in that habit because it's a good habit to build. So for number 8, we've got 3 different things. Whenever you do this, just combine 2 of them and then combine the next 2. So for example, we're going to combine these 2 back here, and then we're going to combine these 2 up here, and then we're going to combine those 2. A frequent mistake is like multiplying this guy into there and then into there. That's wrong because once you multiply it into here, then it's already accounted for. The number's already there. Whenever you multiply it again, you're essentially doubling it or multiplying it twice. So we don't want to do that. So what we're going to do, we've got these 2 together, and then we've got these 2 together. And of course, we'll do pretty colors. So when we put this -3 in, we're going to have -3a plus a -15. That part wasn't too hard. So now over here, we're going to have to FOIL this stuff. So now we've got plus, no, not plus. So we're going to put this in our parentheses. I almost made a mistake there. We're going to put this in our parentheses. So 8 times a is going to be our a squared. 8 times 8 plus 8a minus 2a minus 16. And so now I would go ahead and combine these like terms because that's going to be that's going to save us a step later on. So we're going to go ahead and combine those. So we've got a squared plus 6a minus 16. And then this just comes down because we're going to have to FOIL this now. Okay, so now, like I mentioned, we have to FOIL this. So each term is going to get multiplied by each other term. So here we go. We got -3a cubed minus 18a squared plus, I quit, 3 times 16, not doing that in my head, 48a. So then we got our -15 minus 15a squared. -15 times 6 minus 90a. And then -15 times -16 plus 240. So yeah, we're getting some pretty fun numbers here, but don't be afraid, it's fine. Now we're just going to combine our like terms. So then we've got our -3a cubed. It's the only a cubed that we have. Now I'm looking for all my a squareds. So that's -18 minus 15 minus 33a squared. So then we've got, need a different color. We've got an a there, got an a there. So that's 48 minus 90 minus 42a, and then the 240 just hangs out here at the end. So let's make sure I got all this right, didn't make a mistake, and I did. So we are good to go. Again, there's a lot of steps. So this is going to be one of those like make sure that you are very careful and pay attention to detail. It's a good skill to have. Number 9 is actually just like number 8, but it just kind of looks a little bit different. Whenever you see something like this, I highly recommend that you just write it out, because a lot of times what people do, they'll try to like distribute this 3. That's not right, because what this 3 means is this 3 means that it's this times this times this. So if we write that out, it makes a lot more sense, at least in my head, to keep track of. So, oh, we have 2 letters in here too. So now that we have it all written out, we're going to do the exact same thing. You're going to just pick 2 of them, combine those 2 together, foil those out, and then you're going to take the whole rest of that and then foil it into the last one. So we'll just start with these last 2. Why did I pick those? I don't know. You can do the first 2, the last 2. It doesn't matter. It kind of makes me happy to have this thing out in front for the second part. So that's why I chose to do that. But like I said, it doesn't really matter. So here we go. We're going to have 4c squared plus 10cd. Okay. Plus 10cd plus 25d squared. 2c plus 5d. We're just going to bring that down. And again, we're going to combine these like terms because it's going to save us a step later on. So I'd rather just rewrite this as opposed to do an extra step later on. So we're going to go ahead and do that. Plus 25d squared. Okay, so then now our next step, we're going to foil this into each and every one of those. So, and again, here's, attention to detail, be careful, go slow. So 2 times 4 is 8c cubed. 2 times 20 is 40c squared, because there's 2 c's, d. And then 2 times 25 is 50 cd squared. Okay, so now we got to go do the 5d. Line is in my way. 5d times 4c squared. So we're going to have 20 c squared d. 5 times 20 is going to be 100 cd squared. And 5 times 25 plus 125d cubed. Okay, so again, be careful. Maybe I made a mistake already. I don't even know. Let me check. Looks like I'm on the right track here. So, and here's where colors kind of come into play. So you are looking for like terms. So let's see here. So we've got a c cubed. Okay, there's only one c cubed, but we've got a c squared d. I'm looking for, here's another c squared d, and that's it. Okay, so let's go ahead and start writing my final answer here. 8c cubed plus 40, 50, 60, 60c squared d. Okay, now looks like we've got a cd squared, another cd squared, so we're going to combine those two like terms. So now we've got plus 150 cd squared. And then after that, we just have this guy left over. Plus 125 d cubed. So there you go. Like I said, attention to detail and be careful, but this is our answer. Good job. Looking at number 10, we've got a trinomial times a trinomial. As you can imagine, this can get complicated, but really this problem isn't terrible because there's only one step. It's just a long step. So here we go. So we've got to FOIL that guy. So we're going to have 6m to the 4th. Okay, then we're going to have plus 15m to the 3rd minus 27m squared. Okay, so now we got to get this guy. Minus 8m cubed minus 20m squared, and then plus, because negative times negative equals a positive, 4 times 9 is 36m. Okay, and then now we have the 1. 1s are easy to do because you just kind of like copy and paste, right? So we've got plus 2m squared plus 5m minus 9. See, one step is just a big step. Now we get to combine like terms. So hopefully you're kind of noticing some patterns, but like, you know, this M4, I already know that there's only one M4, so I'm not even going to bother looking for more. So we got 6M4. The rest of them, you got to bother looking for. So kind of M cubed, and that's it. So 15 minus 8 is 7. So plus 7m cubed. Now we're looking for m squareds. There's an m squared. There's an m squared. There's an m squared. So negative 26 minus 20 plus 2. 44 m squared. Did I do that right? Let's see here, 26. Okay, so I missed something because my answer doesn't match theirs. So I'm going to look back through with my m squareds. Where did this guy come from? So 3m squared times 9 is not 26. It's 27, which would put this into the right number. Okay. So when we combine our negative 27 minus 20 plus 2 is the negative 45, which is what my answer key has. So, hey, look at that. We got it. Okay, so now we're looking for m's. We've got an m right here and an m right there. 36 plus 5 is going to be 41m. And then the 9 is just by itself. So again, attention to detail and pay attention to signs and, you know, make sure you do basic arithmetic right. I don't know. Okay, one more big one. Let's do it. Finish strong. So here we go. We're just going to FOIL this out, just like we've been doing. So we've got negative x to the 4th minus 9x cubed minus 4x squared minus 6x cubed, and then there to there is minus, my brain stops working after a while, 54x squared, and then 6 times 4 is 24. 24x. Okay, last but not least, 7. So negative 7 times another negative, we're going to have positive 7x squared, negative 7 to the negative 9, plus 63 x plus the negative 7 to the 4, 28. Okay, so like I said, one step, it's a big step. So let's do our final answer. We only have the 1x4. So now we need all of our x cubes. Okay, that's all I see. So that's going to be negative 15x cubed. Now we're looking for x squareds. So then we've got negative 4 minus 54 plus 7 minus 51x squared. And then we've got our x's, 63 minus 24, 39x, and then plus 28. How did we do? We got it. Send it. It's not fun until you do a word problem. So this is a kind of neat little geometric one. So we're talking about a trapezoid. So I went ahead and I wrote the area of a trapezoid because I know we're going to be using that. But it says the height of a trapezoid can be expressed as this, while the bases, I'm going to highlight this stuff, while the bases can be expressed as that and that. Write an expression to represent the area of the trapezoid. So the area of a trapezoid is the two bases added together times 1/2 times height. So we're going to plug what we know into that equation, and we're going to come up with something fun. So our area in this case is going to be 1/2 the two bases added together. So we've got 3x minus 7 plus x plus 5. Don't need any parentheses there because I'm not distributing a negative sign or anything like that. But I am multiplying by the height, so that's where I'll need parentheses. And there we go. From here, it's just a normal, easy problem, right? So we're going to combine like terms in there in the first set of parentheses. So we're going to rewrite our 1/2. We're not going to lose it. So we've got 4x and then negative 7 plus 5 minus 2. Now, we have some choices here. We can distribute this into here first, or we can combine these two. I'm going to choose to distribute this into here first because both of these numbers are even, and this is going to go away, and these numbers are going to get smaller. So I'm all about smaller numbers. So when we distribute this in, we've got 1/2 times 4 is going to be 2x, and then 1/2 times 2 is going to be 1. So notice how I only distribute that into one of the terms. So now we're just going to FOIL as normal. And we're going to have 4x squared plus 18x minus 2x minus 9. Combine like terms. So our area is going to equal 4x squared plus 16x minus 9. See, not the worst thing we've seen. Okay, now we're going to be dividing polynomials. Even better, right? So before we get started, quick review. Remember, if we have something like 2x plus 2, we'll do a different number, plus 4 all over 2, that's the same thing. We can divide that up. That's the same thing as 2x over 2 plus 4 over 2. So those are the same things. So that's the concept we're going to be using, because then this simplifies into x plus 2. So that's the same concept we're going to be using. We're going to divide each term into the numerator by the monomial in the denominator, basically doing this step right here. And then we're going to simplify, standard form, all this good stuff. So let's try one out. So here we are on 13. Or not. So when we divide that out, we're going to have 9m cubed over 3m minus 24m squared over 3m. So our 1m is going to cancel out. 1m is going to cancel out. Our 3's are going to, our 3 there's going to cancel out. We're going to have 3 left over. And then 24 divided by 3 is also a thing. So we're going to have 8 left over. So our final answer is going to be 3m squared minus 8m. So that's it. Just split those things up and then do each one in order. Now, it might get a little crazy later on, but if you just stick to that process, you're going to be good to go. So let's try some more. Okay, this time I'm not going to rewrite the whole thing. I'm just going to look at each one individually. So here we go. So 20 divided by 4 is going to be 5. And then x cubed over x, we're going to have x squared. Okay. Negative 4 over 4 is going to be 1. X squared over x is just going to be 1x. And then negative 8 over 4, we're going to have 2. And then the x's cancel out. And so here is our final answer. See? Not terrible. So with number 15, don't forget that this little guy right there just means that this term is on the bottom. It's kind of like a fraction. It's just another way of writing it. So that's what that means. So if you want to rewrite the whole thing, you could cross this out and put the 2ab down there on the bottom. That's fine. So when we start simplifying, let's get into it. So our first one, 14 divided by 2 is 7. And then 1a gets canceled out. 1b gets canceled out. Okay, 20 divided by 2 is going to be 10. 1a gets canceled out. 1b gets canceled out. So I've got one of both left over. And then 2 divided by 2 is 1. And then 1a gets canceled out. 1b gets canceled out. So we just have our 1. So that's our answer. Okay, they're trying to trip us up with a lot of different complicated letters. But again, stick to the process. It'll be okay. So let's start with this right there. I'm going to start with my numbers. 30 divided by 12. It's not a pretty number. Well, it's not terrible. It's 2.5. I'm going to keep it as a fraction, though. And I just used my calculator to figure it out, so don't be ashamed of that. So we're going to have 5 over 2. And then our C's, 2 of them cancel out. So 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. C to the 6. 1D cancels out. D squared. Okay, moving right along. 36 divided by 12, that's at least a happy number. So then 2 of our c's cancel out. So we're going to have 6, 5, 4 left over. 1 of the d's cancel out, so we're just going to have 1 d. And then 6 divided by 12 is 1/2. 2 of the c's cancel out, so we have 1 c left over, and both d's cancel out, so that's it. So that looks complicated, but once you break it down into its steps, it's not terrible. All right, 2 more. Here we go. So 30 divided by 3 is just going to be 10. So I would start with my numbers. Then I go into my letters. X cubed divided by x squared, we're just going to have 1x. Minus, so then 12 divided by 3 is 4. Both of the x squareds cancel out. And then that's supposed to be a plus. And then 9 divided by 3 is 3. And only 1 x cancels out. So we've got another x still on the bottom. So that's how you would write that. Just leave this x here under this one term, and you're good to go. You don't have to make a big, huge, weird fraction or anything like that. So that's your answer. Last but certainly not least, oh my gosh, there's a bunch of stuff. Don't get freaked out by all of the stuff. Just stick with part by part. So I'm going to start with my numbers. 40 divided by 8 is 5. Okay. M cubed divided by m squared, we're going to have 1m left over on the top. N4 divided by n5, so we're going to have 1n left over on the bottom. Okay, so our next part, get rid of this stuff. 24 divided by 8. So we're going to have 3. M squared, too easy. N to the 7th over n to the 5th. Whatever 7 minus 5 is. N squared. And there we go. See? Not terrible. And look at that. It's the end. You made it. I will see you in class.